are. Welcome back! So, couple of things. First of all, a big shout out to all of you new subscribers out there. The numbers are just skyrocketing. To everyone who liked it and watched it, thank you. The numbers are also going up. And a couple of other big shout outs to Beverly Hills High School. Thanks everyone. And to also Metropolis Comics, where I get my new comic books. So, a couple of things. If you have any suggestions, any comments, please down below. But as usual, we have a few things for this week. We have our top 5 comic books. We're going to have a couple of toys. We have a movie review for this week. And that's what we got. That's what I got for this week. So, starting things off, as I always do, top 5 review. Now, something I don't always do. And this I'm only doing this time because it was an interesting issue that I wanted to bring up. This week was approximately 12 to 14 issues that we had to sift through. Ones that are good, some are medium. And there's one here I want to throw out. This is an honorable mention. Honorable mention, not one of the top 5. But I want to throw in there Suicide Squad number 50. This is a new run-through that they've had. And this new Suicide Squad it's been going through ups and downs. This kind of brings back the what they call the modern lineup, what we saw in the movie, but it has some great lines. It has some great dialogue. It's a good little throwback issue, and so I'm not sure if there's gonna be a continuation with this. It's hit and miss lately, but this was a hit, and so I'm gonna throw an honorable mention. All right, so next up, number 5 for this week. What do we have? Well, we have a series that's called out there, Spawn Kills Everyone. Second time, volume 2. Now, this is actually part of a series that's been going on for a while. You may have heard of a previous series where we had Deadpool manipulated to kill everyone in the Marvel Universe. And in this particular one, we have Spawn. Now, Spawn is part of an indie comic book. He's an indie guy. And so what that means more than anything else is that he has access to killing Marvel and DC characters. He does an interesting kind of practical joke on Captain America on here. The thing is, why I picked issue 2 to talk about is that this one is unique in that you can actually see some people die in horribly humorous ways, and what they call his little turds are going to be everywhere doing his bidding. Little Spawn is not like Big Spawn, but it's very, very good. Number 5 for this week. All right, number 4 for this week. We have number 1, actually, of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder in Hell. Shredder in Hell. Now, the reason why I want to focus on this particular issue is that in the last major story arc for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder was killed by Splinter, and in his dying breath, there was redemption for him and possibly his soul. Well, his soul will not be laid to rest peacefully. It is trying to be brought back to take over the body of the dragon god. Splinter is in the dream world trying to fight, and throughout all of this, we have Shredder fighting for his soul, trying to get out of the afterlife, and it's a great story. Some throwback to what happened in Japan before the change, as they say, and I liked it a lot. I also want to point out this was the B cover drawn by Kevin Eastman, original creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So if you see that, pick it up in the comic book stores. All right, number 3 for this week. We have number 1, Wolverine, The Long Night. Now, this is a new take. Wolverine's been coming back. He's been killed off for a few years. He came back recently. Wolverine returns. And now they have some stories about, well, this particular one begins in the Alaska area in the upper northwest. And as there's a rash of strange deaths, people say it might be bears. But at the same time, there's also weird happenings going on with the company. It's the beginning of a much bigger story arc. It's been a lot of introductory stuff. We see Wolverine in flashback, but not completely. But it was a really, really good setup issue. So I like this a lot. So this is my number 3 for the week. My number 2 for the week is going to be Batman Detective Comics number 996. Can you believe it? We're almost there. Now, in this story arc, we're continuing on. As we remember, we had Leslie Tompkins, who from this story arc has now passed away. Alfred is going to survive. He's going to be okay. He's a tough old coot, as they call him in the comic books. And here we have Batman trying to find Henri Ducard. But it's not just him trying to find Henri. There's another person who's trying to get some kind of weird protoplasmic demon. Where does it comes from? What's going to happen? Who knows? It's going to lead up to 1,000. It's going to be huge. I'm excited. So let's see what happens here. And my number one for the week I want to get is The Batman Who Laughs #2. This one is a miniseries with Scott Snyder. He is one of my absolute favorite writers. Going back from Witches and even before that, I mean, the man is amazing. His Batman arc is one of the best ever. And here we have a new storyline where we have the Batman Who Laughs, who is more than anything trying to kill and fight this world's Batman. And with him, he's got a sidekick, kind of a character, the Grim Knight, mass murderer, insane. It's one of my favorites. It leaves it on an ultimate cliffhanger, and Batman is trying to pump Joker toxin to not become the Joker. It's good. It's good. I like it. There you go. All right. So next up I have for this week, I'm going to do a classic comic review. And the one that we have for this week is one that I really want to point out because it's one that actually got me started into my love. I'm wearing Batman, as you can see, and what got me started was actually early on, around 9-10 years old. My sister got me a copy of some Batman graphic novels that she probably shouldn't have at that age, but that's all right. It was awesome. It changed the way I viewed comic books. I always thought Batman as the campy 1966 Batman. This is a little bit different. I want to show you here, we have from 1988, Batman the Cult. Now, in this 4-part series, which is, you notice, something unique. It's from DC. It doesn't have the Comics Authority Code. These are one of the comic books that would be made that would not be open to the general public. It would not be a general approved issue. That code no longer is really used in comic books right now. But this was a dark issue. You have Batman trying to go into the sewers, dealing with an underground cult led by a man named Deacon Blackfire. It's brainwashing. It's psychedelic drugs. It's of course, in the end, Batman is victorious, but it's a journey to get there. So that's going to be my classic comic review of the week. It's an amazing one. If you've never read it, you need to. You don't know Batman until you've read this series. Alright, next up, quick movie review. So, we watched Once Upon a Deadpool. And I gotta say, real quick, I'm gonna give this one, let's see now, we'll call it What I Got, we'll call them wigs. I'll give it 4 out of 5 wigs. 4 out of 5. Now, the reason why I get it 4 out of 5, it was very funny. A lot of great lines. We have the original. This one I can kind of watch with my oldest daughter, cannot with my youngest daughter. But it was a good movie, some funny things. I love the addition of Fred Savage. He does some hilarious dialogue. Great, deep cut commentary. So I highly recommend it. Alright, and for this week we have a toy review. Now, the toy review for this week, we have Gladiator Thor. This was picked up recently from GameStop, and the reason why I like this a lot, they call it Thor Ragnarok, but if you know anything about Thor in comic books, you know that this is actually more than anything else from Planet Hulk. Gladiator Hulk is Planet Hulk. This is one of the most amazing storylines. It's a good toy, actually, I gotta be honest. It comes out from Marvel Select. I like it. It's gonna be good in my collection. We'll see where the hell I put it, but that's gonna be a question for a different time. Alright, guys, so we have our top 5, classic, we have the movie, we have the toy. That's what I got for this week. Again, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. Any suggestions, let me know. Please like, subscribe, ding that bell, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.